Perfect. But guys, this is B-Rad's father, Bob. Super chill guy. Fucking dope as fuck. Like, man, literally, yeah, you want to know what he did for us tonight? He bought us 3 concert tickets to like a pop-in event, Mid-State Fair.
Event. Yes.
Drove us there, gave us free gate tickets, free concert tickets, waited for us to finish all that bullshit, and then picked us up on the curb and then DD'd us all the way back home. So like, that's the type of man we're dealing with right now. Super honorable, super respectful, genius, it sounds like. And
Absolutely.
it's always been like, Bob really is a smart character, and you are 66 years old.
Yes.
66 years young.
Let's jump right into it, Bob. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
I did not think we're gonna be doing this.
Neither did
I'm
Yeah,
so happy.
yeah.
Yes.
You got it. Okay. I'm down to just start in that test thing you were talking about. What do you call it? The SISMA?
Mensa.
Mensa. And you took it after college, after high school.
Yeah, after college, after CPA, I was just reading a magazine one time and they had the test in there.
Available.
Yeah.
So you just thought like, oh, okay. Well,
So I took it.
I could probably do it.
Yeah.
There weren't like any benefits behind it that you were like.
I did it just for kicks.
Right, just fuck it.
Just
okay.
for kicks.
And this was like.
Had to be
An IQ test.
1978, 79, sometime in that time period.
Right.
And then you nailed it.
Did not study,
No.
but you passed it.
No.
Yes.
So that means you're a genius. If you pass that test and that.
No, I knew the answers on the test.
Okay. Because you just knew it.
I just knew it.
Okay.
So
Exactly.
he's smart.
And you said that all the geniuses that you met, they were all assholes?
Pretty much. They looked down on people.
Why?
I didn't think.
I don't understand it, but they thought they were smarter than everybody else and they were better than everybody else. And that's smart does not mean better.
No.
Yeah.
And that's what people
It just
do.
does not do. It does
It's like-
not.
Sure, you're smart in something and you're confident in it, and that's great, but that has no carry on it.
I could tell you a story.
The street smart versus
when
like book
I took the CPA exam and got my CPA.
CPA license, right?
Yes. It's a 2.5-day test. And there was a guy that worked for the same firm that I did. And he passed the test, and he was like the top 10%. But he couldn't do anything on a job.
Horrible communication skills.
Horrible work skills. He couldn't apply
No
what
work
he
ethic.
knew.
Yeah.
Could not apply it. Test taking is test taking.
Yeah.
It doesn't apply to real life.
It's a fact. So you killed it because you had the personality and the work ethic versus you weren't focused on trying to be better than everyone else, you know?
No one's better than everybody.
Nobody's better than anybody.
Nobody's better than anybody.
That's a fact.
Period.
And that's what makes me want to be the best I can be, because if I know I can do whatever I can do, I can tell anybody that that's possible. Because I have so many people that would never guess, like, that I'll be who I am going to be. Like,
And the thing is, Bob's, not only is he a genius, but he's also really fucking chill. Like, you don't meet too many, like, the people that you meet that are
Exactly.
insanely smart and all they do is study all day. For the most part, yeah, they probably are chill, but, like, the thing is, Bob's, like, next level chill. Like, he literally just
Bob's
bought his
a real
concert
person,
ticket, said,
you
yeah,
know?
we going to the fucking fair. And you read 150 pages while we were at the fair in, like, 3 hours. So, like,
Yeah.
Bob's an insanely fast reader. All he does is read.
that's
Well,
the
and
key
you
to
do other
knowledge.
things.
Is reading the key to knowledge? Because that's what I believe.
Reading to me
Is the key to knowledge.
I read nonfiction reading is the key to knowledge.
Okay.
Fiction reading, which I do,
We'll stir you up.
it
Makes you think.
gives my mind a chance to go
You get a box to
away
look at.
from my numbers, away from my job, and puts me into a different place.
Right. Which all you can do is be understanding about.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
And what do you do for your job? You're a CPA?
I'm a CPA.
Certified Public Accountant.
Yes.
and you work with people from San Diego to the Oregon-California border. From south all the way up to north?
San Diego all the way up to Roseburg, Oregon.
Oh, so in Oregon too.
Yeah, it's about 3 hours north of the border.
And these are primarily car dealerships that need their taxes done.
Yes.
How the fuck did you even meet people in Oregon?
I heard something about you did some, like, you know, little mafioso.
A client of mine, a mentor and a very good friend. He had a niece that lived in Oregon, and her husband wanted to be a car dealer, so he bought a Honda store up there.
Okay.
What? Damn.
And is it a big deal being an accountant for a car dealership? Like, what's that mean?
Well, it's a whole different business than most accountants are used to. Most people are used to.
It's a bigger bracket.
It's a bigger business because you have 5 businesses in one.
Got it.
You have a new car dealership, you have a used car dealership, you have a parts dealership, you have a service dealership, and you have a body shop dealership.
Okay.
Right.
So how does that work come tax season, Bob? Like they just give you the papers. Hey, this is the car dealership. Hey, this is the service part of the car dealership. These are what our employees make. Like, what do you do when you have like?
What's your goal? Like, what's your goal when you get somebody's taxes?
No, I don't
save them money or to just figure
car
it out?
dealerships. I don't get their data. I go and get their data.
What do you mean by that?
They don't give it to me. I go and get it.
How?
That's great.
I go to the dealership.
Because then you can only get what you have.
And I sit there for anywhere between 1 and 5 days.
Shit.
And I will go through their entire business.
Okay.
To make sure the numbers are proper to do the tax return. And I can save them the maximum amount of money that I can.
Because you're the one finding out the numbers. They don't have them logged to give over like that. So there's some leeway.
They have a set of books, a general ledger and schedules and all that.
It's in the system.
I go through and I make sure that they're taking the maximum deductions that they can take before I prepare the tax returns.
Okay.
And like, you're there for 1 to 5 days. How do you find out how much they sold this year? Like, are they giving you physical copies of paper, or are they giving you an Excel spreadsheet on a computer?
Copies of paper.
System, right? Okay.
Physical copies of paper. And I go through some of the card deals, the card and all the receipts and
files and everything.
All the files,
all transactions.
Yes.
Are you?
So you kind of audit them almost. Without being the audit, you know,
audit
it's like
is a very specific term.
You could be the audit if you weren't looking to do their taxes.
I go in and I review everything.
Right.
Yes.
So when an audit comes, it's claimed.
When a tax audit comes.
What's a tax audit?
IRS tax audit.
And what do? They
go through your receipts to make sure you're taking the proper deductions.
You make money, they take
their receipts.
Their receipts.
Their receipts.
And how do you what do you mean by deductions? Like
deductions, well, for a tax return, you have income, the money you make.
Yeah.
And deductions, which is the money it takes to make that money, meaning rent expense, payroll expense, advertising expense, and all that kind of thing. Employees, yes.
Right, because they spend more than they make, ultimately.
No, not always.
No? I want to know. I'm sorry. I would have assumed, they have the leeway.
I feel like they make a lot of profit.
They make profit.
Well, I mean, you're not going to run a business that doesn't make profit.
They make profits.
For sure, yeah.
They're probably not spending more than they're getting.
No.
Okay.
Not.
They're making a count.
Not normally. There are years that happens.
So you make sure that all the numbers are legit. They sold 500 cars in January, 200 cars in February, and so on. Here is X amount of profit they've made from, let's just say, January to December. That's the total amount of profit that they made. And then you start punching in on the deductions and their tax write-offs and write-off stuff get complicated, right? Because there's probably a lot of shit they can just write off.
There probably
Yes,
is.
there's lots. They're very complicated.
Can you give an example?
Is it
of
a gray
write-off?
area? I feel like it could be.
Write-off. We can get into the technical. Okay. The biggest write-off most car dealers have is what's called LIFO, last in, first out method of recording your inventory. And this is where it takes the price increases, the inflation out of your inventory, and allows you to deduct expenses.
And I remember today when we were on your boats,
Yes.
you were saying 100 people in the country know how to do LIFO.
Probably, yes. For car dealers.
How's that even possible? Aren't there thousands of car dealers in America?
There are.
And you don't think a mathematician at like Cal Poly could do that?
No, because you have to know the car business. You have to know the models of the cars,
Right.
the makeup of the
focused interest.
inventory, and all of that.
So explain the whole LIFO thing, like how you did on the boat today. You were like, yeah, this is the first thing in... I can't even say it.
LIFO is last in, first out.
So
if you have a car, let's say you have a car in January,
Yeah.
and that car costs $40,000.
Okay.
You sell that car for $50,000. On your books you record a $10,000 profit. Okay, so in the same year, in December, you have a car, the same model, the same make, that costs $35,000 or $45,000, and you sell it. LIFO says the last one in is the first one out, so you sold that car instead of the car you sold in the one in January.
So you did in fact sell the car in January.
Why did they
You
ignore
do
it
that.
though, then? They just ignore the car you sold before?
Yes, last in, first out. The last car you got in is the first car you sold out.
Oh, okay,
Instead of the one you sold at the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, or
Versus the
whatever.
new one you sold this year, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's a play on, that's fun.
I'm gonna guess there's 345 million people in the United States of America, and you're saying only 100 people know how to do what you just said.
Probably, yeah.
Why is that?
It's highly specialized.
And you specialize
Maybe
in that?
100 people
I specialize
do
in car dealers.
But,
Okay.
I specialize in car dealers.
yeah, it's a...
There are very few firms, accounting firms, that specialize in car dealerships.
Right. So what's the other way around that if that's not the option of the last in first out? It's just to charge...
That's first in, first out.
For, exactly. Yep. So charge for what you had before and then now charge for what you have now. Okay.
So, what's like... Give me some like juicy detail, like some shit that's happening where like have people, like, I don't even know if we're allowed to say this on camera, but like, what's it like working for car dealerships? Like, are they trying to
Is that your biggest employer, I guess, maybe, like to
Client.
say? Client?
Car
Car
dealerships?
dealerships?
Yes.
Yes.
I've started in car dealerships when I worked for a firm in Newport Beach, and we did over 200 car dealerships a year.
Nice. And that's
And-
guaranteed money. So
And
it's like solid.
I was tasked to do some of the larger ones.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ones I
people that wanted to be more private about
One of the
things.
car dealerships that I worked on was Longo Toyota in El Monte, California. And most car dealerships will do about 2,000. A successful dealership will do 2,000 units a year. They did 2,000 units a month.
Fuck.
A month.
Fuck. That's
So-
a lot of money.
Yeah, no, and it was...
And that's a lot of important money that needs to be unfortunately, because the government won't let you win unless they win too, that needs to be accounted for.
Yes.
So yeah.
But
I heard one time that
yeah.
the whole Corona
about
thing
that.
happened, and that I wasn't here, but I heard one of my friends told me, like, bro, it was crazy. Somebody called Bob and like, bro, like, I need to move my money. What am I gonna do because of maybe, was it not Corona? I think it was Corona. It was some sort of something happened with taxing, and they called you asking you how to move millions, you know, so they're not getting taxed for it. And I mean, I'm just trying to figure out, like, obviously that's not a car dealership, so you have some, maybe this is like illicit talk, but you're the man.
Canada Dry.
Soda. Pellegrino over there. No,
And I feel like the thing is the government tries to take advantage of a lot of people, so there's a lot of ways to fight it.
well, there are
fighting's
legal
never
ways
fair.
and illegal ways.
Right,
You don't want to do the illegal one.
right. Because then you're already in the mud
Iris is not stupid
at all.
at all.
Right,
And in the
but they're not fair either.
no, but the late '80s, some of them are, some of them aren't.
Where's your soda at?
Right, the San Pellegrino.
Right there. Those
two-
right
the
there.
two
Those
green bottles.
right in front of
One of
you.
them is probably full, the other one's probably
Yep.
empty. There you go. In the late '80s, early '90s, they started doing lifestyle audits. So if
That's
you're-
the biggest bullshit
if-
ever.
no, it's actually not. If you're
I guess
if you're
it's
making
not,
if you're
you
making
know.
$40,000
If you
a
can
year,
live like a douchebag, you can.
if you're
pay
making
up for it.
$40,000 a year, and you're got a $5 million house,
Right.
that's how they got Al Capone.
Right.
That is how they got Al Capone.
That is true.
You know,
And you know what? That's one of the biggest things about cryptocurrency now.
they're gonna start. They
Because-
got it. They're gonna do it.
If
No,
It's starting.
leave us alone.
they are gonna
They're gonna do
regulate
it.
it. They're gonna have
Oh my
to
God.
regulate it.
Just
Because it's
red
almost-
flags. That's
just
red
last
flags.
week,
But it's
just last
the
week,
only way-
I was invited to
There's so much
a
money in
course
there, bro.
on how to account for cryptocurrency. The IRS has started to account for cryptocurrency.
No, they're trying to account for
They will.
cryptocurrency. They
They're
will.
not dumb.
Well, they have to because we live in America and they are our government, so they
In
will.
fact, they
if
have-
they want to implement it, they will
They
create their own
have.
restrictions.
They have.
Well,
Assessed
there's U.S.
certain
dollar
people
coins.
when they've turned cryptocurrency back into assets.
Yeah.
You bought this car. How did you buy this car?
Crypto bitch.
Yep, and
Well,
then
fuck off.
they taxed it.
Yeah, of course, 'cause they
taxed
don't
it,
want
and it won.
They don't want anybody to
And
win.
they won.
Yeah.
And you know, the government's 70% of their income is our income. You know how you have you look at your paycheck, it's like $2,000.
Oh no!
You got
Not
1,000.
70%. 100% of their income is your income.
Exactly. So income tax. If we had crypto,
Government does not.
that's
make
why
any-
they don't want cryptocurrency. Because if you started a business and you only took cryptocurrency or converted the money you got into cryptocurrency, you would never have to pay taxes. You would get 100% of your money, 100%. They would never know anything until they see you living like a baller, and then they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
They're gonna figure it out.
And then they're never gonna let you win.
they're gonna.
that's a
tax,
fact.
They're gonna tax.
But crypto is the biggest thing. It's the key to is the biggest thing that has ever came out within our society. Like
And
the blockchain, not just crypto, but the blockchain. Really.
this is kind of where my big conspiracy ties into everything. And like I've brought this up a million times, but all the money we lose to taxes,
Did you benefit from that at all?
not even that. The money that we lose from taxes, the 25% of our paycheck, 33% of our paycheck, 50% of our paycheck that some people are losing to taxes, it almost seems like that money is getting laundered into like billionaire, trillionaire
Yes,
bank accounts.
it
And it's like,
is.
dude, like you guys don't need to take all this money from me. Like,
That's
the
why-
roads look the same.
That's
I
why
drive through SLO every
if
day. The
we
roads
had-
look the same. Like,
Bro,
it's all the same shit.
If we
Like,
had
it
cryptocurrency,
doesn't make
we're
sense.
all, if
Like,
we're getting
it's-
paid in crypto and your business
for
was in crypto,
California,
it would break down
federal
the
is different
government.
from state.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
But federal is
It doesn't.
different
And
from state.
they
In
are.
California,
either way, the government needs to be regulated
Um,
less. Like,
we had a few years back, we had the 6%, the 6 cents a gallon tax on Californians to fix our roads. They were supposed to be fix our roads. Every politician you heard that was interviewed on the radio, on television,
filling their
was,
pockets.
we need that money to fix our roads.
I need that money to fill my
stop.
pockets.
What happened was our governor took that money and applied it to the high-speed train from Fresno to the Silicon Valley.
So he did something with money that we did not.
We were not
intend.
supposed. It was not supposed to be done.
And it
It's
didn't
like,
even
dog,
get done. It didn't even get done.
We need to keep more of
This
our
is
paycheck.
this is
No,
this is
everybody.
no. This
Everybody.
is this is what I'm
we,
saying.
We need to have
you
them
sh-
account for what they're doing.
you
Like
should
to the dollar
listen.
amount.
This is what I'm saying.
Without
You
money.
should own 100% of your profits because that's your work.
Yeah.
You're not getting those government benefits and all that. And then this is what it would break down to. It would everybody getting paid their money because that's, my money I gave to you is crypto. It's like they don't know about it. But it would force the government to break down into smaller sections and to ask the people of the community, what do you want to pay your taxes on? Do you want better roads? Then you will pay taxes on that. You will have a choice on what you want your taxes to go towards. Versus they're
That
just
won't
taxing.
happen.
It could though. That's the thing. It won't, but
No,
it could.
Not because the people in Washington. will
We
not.
have the technology now. Blockchain and cryptocurrency is literally the biggest and best thing that's ever came out for humankind. Ever.
Not until they learn to tax it, and they will learn to tax it.
They
That's
will learn to
fucked.
tax
That's
it, but
stupid.
there's still privacy coins.
will.
There's
That's
still ways that they could never,
Yeah,
but
they're-
it wouldn't work like that. But the thing is, people don't need to look at crypto as like, oh, I'm gonna buy this Bitcoin and then it's gonna be this much later. Like, it's not an investment. You need to start looking at it as a different form of payment. Like, there's coins, stable coins that are tied to the dollar. So it's like, if you can have a
Yeah.
bunch of these coins, it's
You-
a dollar. Like, people need to use it naturally like that.
You do
And the only
realize
places
Bitcoin is run by people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos because they have so much money in there that once they say one thing or another and it rises or it drops.
Yeah, I mean that happens with
It's run-
stocks.
it's
That
run
happens
by
with a lot.
them.
But
No, stocks are regulated by the SEC.
Yeah, but they're run by the people that are putting their money in it, and that's the big money who counts on the little money to make the stupid moves. So anytime somebody says something, it goes way up this way, big money gets in and goes the other way. That's just how it works. But crypto is literally our saving grace, bro. Like, we can break down government and they would have to ask us what we want to pay our money for. Like, you can make 100% of your paycheck if it was all in crypto.
Don't get me wrong. I think we should have to pay taxes. I just think it needs to be
I think
set up
I
in
should
brackets.
just be able to choose what I want my tax money to be going to.
And I think there should be so say you make minimum wage. I don't think you should be taxed like
The percent's the same.
if you're minimum wage, you should be taxed like 3% of your paycheck.
Why? You're living the same benefits everybody else is.
And if you make $20-something an hour, then you should be taxed a little bit more. Like
That's
it
not
should
fair.
be. There should literally be 50 brackets.
That's not fair.
They used to
Why?
That's not fair because people work hard for their fucking money. They put themselves in those
be.
positions.
That's always how it has been.
And exactly, and that's how
You
it
have-
is.
you have-
Everybody pays the
It's
same
always been a
percent of
tiered.
taxes.
It's always been a tiered income tax.
It just feels weird that I lose 33% of my paycheck.
Right.
It feels really weird.
And
It's
you know
like,
what?
dude, that was
And
rent.
you know what
That was
pisses-
rent.
You know what pisses people off more? People that
Right.
make millions and lose millions.
Yeah, no,
But it's literally the same percent. It's
not the
like,
same.
but well, actually, it's not because
Well,
we
no,
have like
'cause-
lifestyle taxes on shit like that, and that's not fair. It's like I worked hard to get where I'm at, and now you're gonna beat me down for it. That's
or they
bullshit.
should make it to where like
Bro, that's what I'm saying with crypto. The government will have to ask you, what will you be willing to pay
It's not
for
gonna happen.
taxes? Well, crypto is gonna happen, but the government
Crypto-
will regulate it. The government
they
will regulate
They
it.
will regulate it.
Right, and privacy coins will end up being banned.
Yes,
And all that.
It's gonna happen.
why do you think it's like that? Like why do you think they want it banned just so they can like make more money?
Because if you made all the fucking money, they're gonna
The
like you said,
government
100% of
always
our
wants
money
their
is
share.
their money. Bro, if we don't give them money, what the fuck are they gonna do? We don't
Yeah.
need them, you know?
Yeah.
And so the government would never let that
Well,
fucking
well,
happen.
We do need the government.
We need we need a higher power. We need a
We
a
don't
higher
need it to the level
establishment.
it is right now. but
Right.
We do
It's
need the
overpowered.
government to protect our borders.
I agree. To
we
uphold our
do,
constitution, to
we do need that.
But the thing is, all those people, they're
but
public servants.
every
Our taxes
government-
pay for everything like that. So
Every
it's,
government program ever
Mhm.
never has made a dollar. Never has. They cannot run it. Social Security.
which we're not even gonna have.
I never thought
But
I
we're still
would.
giving
I
it
never
to
had thought I would, but I'm going to get it starting in February. I'm
You'll
gonna
probably
get
be
it.
the last generation that gets it.
But I thought my mom and dad were going to be the last generation. But
Either way, it's not
it
gonna
was
happen.
it was designed to be a supplemental retirement program.
Right.
Supplemental, not primary. Supplemental.
So why am I
it
getting up all
became
that
a
shit for it to be
primary.
supplemental? You know,
Medicare, Medicaid, prescription drugs.
I agree. It should
every
be
single
primary.
one of those programs never ever works.
but you work your
because
ass off
there's
70
no
years of your life to retire for 20.
There's no accountability in the federal government. There's none.
No, zero.
It's every single.
They don't care about the people.
Single government program has got fraud in it. Because there's
Absolutely.
no accountability.
Absolutely.
Everyone's in it for themselves.
For themselves.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're taking advantage of people that
I just
aren't
think
doing that.
33% is a little too much.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
I don't make enough
Crypto,
money
if-
to lose. Like,
if you
know
got
what I mean?
paid
No, I
in
know that.
crypto, you would never you wouldn't have to do your taxes. You wouldn't get taxed. You would get 100% of your profits.
Yeah, but you're not going to do that come 5 years from now.
No, but you can do it now. And
Yeah,
you
but-
can't start an LLC. You can transfer all your money to crypto.
I'm guessing 5. It's going to be less than 5.
Well, for
Of course.
the
It's such a
they're
force that
stepping
they
up,
would
but they
not
started
let it
stepping
happen.
up on it last year.
Right.
This year, they're stepping up more.
There.
Next year,
Which is good though because it's going to be incorporated more. And you
it's
know what?
incorporated more.
The
It's
where
been-
you see it the most is okay. Fiat is what we have. Our money is called fiat, and it's a promise. Is what it is. The government promises that this note is going to be valuable for whatever, and all paper money always fails. That's why you look at other countries like 10,000 fucking yen is $10 or I'm not the actual conversion, but you know what I mean.
But crypto's the same way.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's actual. It's
No.
actual money. It's actual value.
No, it's not.
It's
has
for the
it has
people,
no
by the people.
absolute value at all.
It does.
It's perceived value.
No, it has actual value because you put money in there, and it's a mathematical.
No, it's
It's a
perceived. It's perceived.
It's not
value.
perceived.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Until
It
you
is
take it
literally-
out, and can spend it on goods, it is perceived.
You can always spend it on goods.
Until you actually do.
Well, same thing with your dollar. Until you spend it, it's perceived.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's a
guaranteed.
fiat.
But
It's
it's
a promise
guaranteed.
by the government.
Yes.
Okay, so I believe them.
Huh?
Like, why would I believe the government to back my
Because it's
money?
happened.
Well, yeah,
has
it's been the
happened.
way, but fiat always fails, always fails.
Yeah.
That's why you're looking at countries like Venezuela that they've had like economical collapses.
That's
They're
just talking
stu-
socialism now, not.
But no, but but they have to start over, you know, they have to build up. And what they're doing now is they're adopting cryptocurrency because it's a way that everybody can put their money in. It's mathematically,
No.
it's on.
No. The government is going to get the money, not the citizens. Socialism is not the citizens getting money. Citizens will never have money.
Well, unless the government collapses, which is not going to happen here.
Not gonna
But
happen
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying in other
never
countries
gonna
like Venezuela. You see, they're adopting it as their form of payment because it allows all countries to establish a form of payment too. And money is only, you know, like what you're going to give me a certain amount for what I have, and I'm going to value that only in America because it's fucking promised. You know, it's like, but. The blockchain is also, it's literally scientific, not scientific,
but
mathematically.
There is no guarantee anywhere.
No, there is, because there's only the money that's gone into it.
There's no money coming out of it until you take the money out and buy a car.
The thing is, the
buy
only
a house,
money that can
or
go,
buy something that is worth nothing until you can actually turn that into an actual product.
Right. But the money that has gone into it is real money. And the only money you can take out is real money. You can't just fucking ask the bank for a loan and the government's gonna print more money, you know, and like all of a sudden you get that for nothing.
Money based on cryptocurrency either.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
They're not gonna do that.
But that's fine.
I see a whole different side of this than you do. I see the business side.
I don't think you completely know about cryptocurrency.
It's not real until you buy something.
Okay,
nothing's real until you buy something.
Until you buy actual purchase.
I can buy
a car. I can buy a house.
I can buy a house. I can buy a car. I can buy anything.
And at that point in time, and the IRS already did this.
Right, now they want to crack down because now they're asking, how do I get a chunk of it?
When you buy that house, buy that car, they're going to tax that.
Right. Well, it's going to be a gray area and it's going to be a hard tax.
No, it's not a gray area at all.
Currently?
Not at all.
Well, because ultimately...
They already won.
Ultimately, you could say it was a gift.
No. You cannot say it's a gift.
Yeah, you can. You bought it in crypto.
How much?
1 Bitcoin. They don't know.
How much dollars?
The transactions aren't recorded.
Okay, when you
I didn't buy it in dollars.
No, when you buy that house is bought in dollars.
No, you can buy things in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. You can buy.
But the house is worth dollars.
You can estimate that value, sure, but I didn't.
The IRS can estimate that value very, very easily.
But also, if you're giving gifts, it's like a write-off.
A gift.
Like if you can
a gift is not a write-off.
You can gift things to people and not be taxed for them.
Yes, you can.
It won't be the same as you owning them. You know.
You know about gift tax laws?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
You're allowed in 1 year to gift anybody you want $15,000.
Tax free or
tax free? $15,000. That's all you can do in 1 year.
That's not a lot, yeah.
1 year. It's not a house. It's not a car.
It could be a down payment on a house. Down payment on a car.
Could be.
Right.
You're allowed $15,000. That's all you're allowed in 1 year. And right now, under the current estate tax laws, right now, you're allowed to gift. You're allowed. Right. Are you talking about those laws?
Yeah. Keep going.
Okay, those laws right now, and they're going to go down. You're allowed, when you die, you're allowed $11,600,000 of exemption before you have to pay estate taxes on your assets. So, when you say you're gifting somebody something, if you give more than $15,000,
it becomes an asset of value.
You got to file a tax return on that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
You have to.
And that's not fair.
That's, I
If you
know
want to
it's
give
not
someone
fair.
your car, give them your car.
If
Right.
it's only
It's
if
not
it's
gonna
more
be
than
a burden.
$15,000, your car's not gonna be. Most
Right.
stuff it's not, but
But if
you're giving him a whole house,
this is fiat. This is government controlled money.
if
This
you're
is not
giving a whole
crypto.
house or something like that, then the estate tax laws are very, very clear.
But if you buy any of those things with cryptocurrency,
You're still buying value.
nobody will know.
They'll-
The government can't find transactions and records to fucking make
They
a
can't
case.
find a deed.
No,
A deed.
Sure, they can find a deed and they can question you on it. But then, okay, well, where are you gonna go from? Of course, the government.
IRS,
we're on the
IRS.
same page that the government will always find a way to fucking get in.
IRS has got
But
2 presumptions. 2.
Jugular.
Number 1, every asset you have, every dollar in your bank account,
that's why they hate crypto.
every asset you have
Needs to be accounted for.
is income.
Right.
Every deduction you have is non-deductible until you prove otherwise. So every asset you get, that somebody you buy crypto, you got $1 million house. That's all income until you prove otherwise.
It's not though,
How is not?
because the government has no regulation over cryptocurrency. It's
But they do over the
decentralized.
assets you buy.
Not if you're buying them. It's kind of
Right,
like buying something on the dark
No,
web.
no.
It's not
No,
even
no, no, no.
recorded. It's
You
really
buy
not.
you buy a house.
You can get caught for buying it, and then they
You-
can all of a sudden
You
start putting
buy a
their numbers on
house.
it,
You
but
buy
it
a
cannot.
house. How did you buy that? Our government said, "How did you buy that house?"
They're not gonna. Well, hopefully, first of all, is they're not gonna ask because they're not gonna know you.
Yeah,
bought
they
the house.
will. They'll
But
know.
It's not
They got the
transacted.
deed. The deed changes hands. They got the deed.
Will they
have
will they
the
come
deed.
knock on your door?
They have the deed. I was working for a client in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The guy hadn't filed tax returns.
Do you invest in crypto at all?
No, not yet.
You should. You should have started like last week.
No, not yet. I'm waiting for it to cross the line.
It's
But
doing that right
okay,
now. It's about to do it. Right now.
let me tell you something.
I trade them.
1986. I'm working for the guy. And he has a billboard company, and he had filed tax returns for 3 years. And IRS was after him for $1.2 million.
Right.
And so we go into this deal and with offering compromise, which what a lot of this is what all your the tax slayer and all those guys do. They do offering compromise, and
Is that like a
you sit down with the
neither
agent
here
and
nor
say,
there
they say,
deal? Like,
we owe you
will you do
1.2
this for
million.
me?
We owe you
Because
$1.2 million. Can we settle for X?
okay, I feel that. Okay.
And so we sit down with the guy. And he goes, we got 3 of your tax returns for 1984. None of them have been filed, but we have 3 different tax returns. I go to the guy, the IRS agent, I go, how'd you get those tax returns? Like, where did you file it? He goes, I can't tell you. They had tax returns for the guy that had not been filed. I don't know where they got them. They wouldn't tell me where they got them.
Yeah, that's weird.
But they know more than you think they know.
No, I know they know everything. Like
So
they're spying on their phones.
they
I
are
don't
gonna
think they're-
pounce on that cryptocurrency shit.
Absolutely,
They
and
are
I
going to-
100% agree.
They are
on
gonna
that.
pounce on it.
It's too big of a force to
It
be
is,
stopped,
it is a big force.
and they will.
And you will pay tax.
They
on,
will-
you will start paying tax on
You
that
will.
stuff.
It's like the same way they legalized weed. It's so they started taxing it. They
Yeah.
figured it out. Okay, well, you know, like cryptocurrency is a whole different thing, and like it's just the blockchain is just the biggest thing that has ever come out for us.
IRS is not stupid.
Well, the USA isn't stupid, and
they have some
greedy.
the IRS agents.
The thing is, you can't just have things.
That
doesn't work.
You have
which also isn't fair.
You have different levels of IRS.
Right.
When you get an audit, and you go in their office. You have a clerk doing your audit, and they're just looking at
A, B, and C.
A, B, and C. Then you have the agents come out with you. They're going A, B, C, D, but maybe D at D.
Right, looking at all the multiple choice.
And then you got the guys above them and the guys above them, and they have very smart people back up there.
Absolutely, I don't have any doubt about that.
So they're going to figure this crypto stuff out, and they're going to tax it. I
100% agree with that.
Let's change subjects because I know you did not want to talk about taxes the whole time.
We're not talking about taxes tonight.
We're talking about crypto.
Yeah, it's taxes, but
you've been married 3 times. Like, any advice for like us youngsters in terms of like, is marriage worth it?
Marriage is worth it, and I'm horrible at picking the right partner.
Really?
But tell us why marriage is worth it. What makes marriage worth it?
My mom and dad were married for 70 years. 70 years. Not married for 70 years, but together for 70 years.
So that's what we need here. What were the factors that made it worth it?
I grew up in a very traditional house. Dad worked. Mom was raising us.
A home.
And it was a very traditional, which is not, we don't have that today. We don't have that traditional. No. And a lot of it's economics.
It's so funny because I seen this girl, she posted a video and she's like, can we just go back to when we didn't have to work? I think we proved our point. We can do whatever.
Now,
it's like, oh, well, you want to prove your point, but now you want to go back to just sitting back.
And that's part of the problem. And
it was like we never were meant to degrade women.
In the 80s, 90s, some housewives became second-class citizens.
Women became second-class citizens.
No, housewives.
Okay.
The women that worked
were women.
Were women. The women that raised their kids
were
second class.
Right.
And I don't believe that at all.
That's good.
My mom was there every day when I got out of school. My brothers and I, every day when we got out of school, we came home and she was there making sure we did our homework, making sure and then we got to play in the streets afterwards and everything. But she was there for us.
She was the roots of the family.
Dad was off making money.
That was a family man, but she was family.
Mom was that doesn't sound right. Dad was making money. Dad was also always there.
Right.
Mom was also always there.
But she was about making the family.
She was making dinner. She was making lunches. She would make breakfast. Blah 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 blah.
She was the roots.
And she was the anchor of the family.
Yep, that's how my grandma is.
And back then it was a whole different dynamic because my mom and dad supported my brothers and I whatever we did. Mm-hmm. They were there, both of them, on weekends, nights, days, whatever. They were there.
That's great.
But the primary
real root, the real hard worker.
Day-to-day schoolwork, and that was Mom.
You're right. Her job never stopped.
Never stopped.
Ever.
Never stopped.
And she never complained.
And I applaud that. That is traditional.
The biggest.
It's important. It's important to have
very
somebody.
Important.
Literally, that is like
help raise the kids. That is
something that has shaped me into being who I want to be because I was raised by women, and so it's the same. My grandma is the root of our family. If I didn't have my grandma, I wouldn't have a family, and it's crazy. It just really.
And to this day, my mom is 89 years old. 89 years old.
Yeah.
Soldier.
And for the past 6 months, we've been through some
Ups and downs.
medical.
Right.
And I drive
That's
up
life.
to Paso 2 days a week to
Right.
take her to her doctors and
Right.
everything else. And because that's...
And it sucks because they never open up. They never will. You know, everything will be always okay. It's like, I know it's okay because you're so strong and I find that strength in them. But like,
Yeah,
my grandma
mom,
too, she just got
right.
cancer, but she's going
I
through
say
treatment.
my mom, 2016.
They'll never show it. Yeah, they're so
2016, January. She falls in the garage. And she wasn't feeling right. And they were on their way to go. My mom and dad were on their way to go to the doctor. And my dad tripped in the parking lot of a
At the hospital?
shopping center.
Shopping center?
And so they were he broke his head open. He was in intensive care. Mom calls me because I'm the only kid that's around. My older brother lives down south. My other brother lives up north.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took her, I went to the hospital, and that was the emergency room, head's cut open. And this is during tax season, so I was working in the morning. I get up at 3 o'clock and work doing tax returns and take mom at 10 o'clock so we could go to the emergency room, and dad was put in a normal room. We think we're taking him home. And we got there, there's 6 doctors in his room. And we're going, what's going on? Because we were thinking we're taking him home that day. And 2 hours later, he went up to not intensive care, but extra care on the second floor of the hospital. He was there for about 30 minutes. Then he went into intensive care. It was just me and mom. Hardest thing in my life.
Really?
Hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Damn.
Is mom and I are there. And doctor comes in. And I had to give the decision, do not resuscitate.
Mm-hmm.
Do not resuscitate. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah.
And
You knew what you had to do.
I had to do it. And my mom and dad gave me the power to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was difficult. And this was like midnight.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
It's the final.
it was difficult.
Yeah.
But
That's life.
And then my dad was in there for 16 days, and then he
Right.
finally passed after that. And it was difficult. It was really probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't doubt it at all. I can't even say, I understand, but you were the one put in charge of that because
They knew I'd do it.
you're the only person that knew what to do, because if I were to ever be in a position where I'm at a loss, like I don't want anybody to grieve over trying to
I wouldn't go any further than that one. I can't go any further than that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I made some other decision. I had
Yeah.
it was a very try. I'm not
Yeah.
going to go anymore.
I don't even know how we got there either. Yeah, I mean that's That's the thing. Like that's why it's important to live the life you want to live while you can.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When I pass away, I want my funeral to be the biggest party I've ever had in my life.
That's a good way to look at it.
I don't want nobody.
No, it
I
is,
mean,
it
sure,
is,
you can cry, like, but I don't want it to be a song. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't want it to be an event like that.
Yeah.
I want it to be the biggest party I've ever had, you know?
Yeah.
Because if I go, whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, I'm happy, you know? I've had my ups and downs, but, you know, you can only live the life that you've lived.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it can't get
So
any
later.
better than that.
Yeah.
What other questions? You said I've had a full life
Yeah.
and I got stories. What do you want to know?
Yeah. What
We talk about like Vegas or
You've been to Thailand. I've heard you talk about Thailand.
No,
You went to Thailand?
You've been somewhere in the fucking back out there.
in the
somewhere.
Asias.
In the Asias. Yeah.
No, not in the Asians. I've been
The
in
Africa.
the Caribbean like crazy.
You've dabbled in the sugar daddy industry. Right?
Yes. Yes,
How'd
I
that go for
have.
you?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, we'd all be a victim.
Unfortunately.
So.
Why'd you say unfortunately? It's just like a money pit.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Damn. And you were paying for someone's like everything, right?
Yes.
And they didn't have to work at all.
No.
They just had to see you.
Yes. I think in the beginning it was
Fun.
affection. At the end, it became money.
Uh-huh.
But the root of it was
No, I was paying her rent, her car payment, her phone bill,
Anything.
and
right. Yeah. That's how it works. That's how it works.
Do you remember each divorce?
Unfortunately, yes.
What was the first divorce like? Was that, and then when, like, was
To
the
set
last?
the tone for
The first divorce was that was betrayal.
When did you marry? First divorce. When did you marry?
Right out of college. I was 22.
So-
She was 21.
Would you say you jumped into it to?
You were
You knew
young.
what you knew.
We
What
were
you,
young.
Younger
we were
than
young.
us.
You
Way
knew
younger
what
than
you
us.
wanted.
Well, but my mom and dad were married at 20 and 18.
Right.
Yeah.
No, 20 and 19.
Yeah.
Did that have an
My
effect
older
on-
brother was married at 20 and 19.
Yeah.
So you had a pressure effect, kind of like, you
well,
know.
no, it was.
If I actually loved this girl, you thought that she would love you,
You
back
thought
the
it
same.
was the one. You thought you had what your parents had. I
Right,
thought I had what my mom and dad had.
right.
Because I was the first person in my entire family, both sides,
Mm-hmm.
mom and dad, grandparents, everybody did get divorced, and that was heartbreaking.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's heartbreak. It's
Because you think you
It's
you
love
think
and it's
I always
loss.
I always got married thinking that
she loved you.
it was this was it the
right.
rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in the sanctity of marriage. I just do. I still do.
Yeah, it's loyalty to me.
Yes.
It's loyalty, you know.
So after the first time you guys were early 20s, how long did the relationship last?
1 year.
And then it's done?
It was done. Not even a year.
Did you lose money and have to pay alimony?
No.
Nope, just clean cut?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What about the second divorce? More tricky?
Not much.
Okay.
The second one I did myself. I didn't even have an attorney or anything. I wrote the documents myself.
Just to cut this shit off.
Because I just bought a house. I had a condo before, and I just bought a house for us. And we actually had $700 more in debt than we had in assets. So there was no. I think I paid alimony. I think paid.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say
I think I
that
paid
comes out to
like
be a win on your side.
$1,000, $250 a month for 3
Right.
months.
You should have just filed for bankruptcy right before
Yeah.
that.
I didn't. But she went back to her old ex-husband that she had her kids with. So I wasn't that It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't anything.
And then you had children with the third marriage.
Yes.
And that was the most tricky.
Yes.
And you kind of already explained that to Noah earlier when I was like setting up and shit.
Yes.
So we don't have to go into that.
We can go to that one. I don't care.
Okay.
What do you want to know?
You had to pay her money. Alimony.
Yes.
She fished for the alimony.
You said like 120 grand a year or something?
$10,400 a month.
Okay. Until she got remarried.
Which she never did. But God, no, I can't do that. I don't want to
Yeah.
make her look that bad.
Yeah.
I do not.
It's
I
not
do
at
not.
all. Yeah.
I don't want to go there.
That's good.
Things happened.
Are you still paying it?
No.
Okay,
Anymore.
thank God. Because that's dude, 10 grand a month. That's a good amount of money.
That's money I
I'd
don't
be
have.
stoked if someone's paying me 10 grand a month.
Yeah,
I
I'd
would be
stoked
too.
If I made 10 grand a month, bro. I don't make that.
But it was less than a credit card payment, so.
That was less than your credit card payment?
Hers.
She's spending $17,000 a month in credit card bills.
On
A
what?
month on fucking
Stuff.
TJ Maxx and fucking.
Jeez. That's the thing. People get crazy with their money sometimes when they start buying the.
Well, no. People get crazy. You said with their money sometimes, with other people's money.
That too.
That's not
But
theirs. That's
Laser,
right.
I
They
do
don't
not
get
want
crazy
her
with
to
their
see
money.
this, so
She won't.
I'm not going to say anything.
Go
bad.
farther. Yeah. No, that's
absolutely.
Because after 14 years of divorce, we're finally getting along better.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So
Yeah. It's just that. It's
Is
just
it because of the kids? Because like Brad's grown up more, so he's independent. So like,
she just finally.
you guys don't have to worry about.
No, she moved back down to Orange County, and she came back up here and realized that things weren't better,
Right.
and we get along,
Right.
which is fine now.
Alright, so she's making it work because
Yeah.
that's good.
You think it's. It is, but you always say this one thing. It is important to tip your bartender.
Yes.
Why?
It's important to tip.
One of my very best clients, biggest client I ever had, and friend, mentor, not so much a mentor, but friend. And he goes, you tip your bartender, you tip your maid, you tip your valet. Those people work very hard for their money, and they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. And so I've always made a point to tip very well. People tip, and I watch it a lot in bars. They'll get a beer or two, and they'll tip 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents, and it's like, dude, no.
Mm-hmm.
So at the very least, I'll tip 50%.
Oh, at the very least.
At the very least.
Dang. Okay.
Most of the time, it's 100%.
What if the service actually sucks?
If the service actually sucks, I won't tip.
0.
I was in
That's fair. That's fair.
Buddy and I, when I lived in Orange County,
Mm-hmm.
we took these girls up to a comedy club in LA. It took like 35 minutes to get our drinks.
35 minutes?
35 minutes.
What were they doing?
I don't have
Working?
no idea.
No, yeah, yeah.
But the bill came. The bill came, and I tipped them like 5%.
Right.
Tipped her like 5%.
That's nice.
And she was
That's nice.
pissed. She was absolutely pissed. I go,
Piss.
the service.
Yeah.
I'm tipping for the service.
You don't even have to see us like you haven't been
I'm
seeing
tipping
us.
for the service.
That's the thing too. Like I've worked in the restaurant industry a lot, so I am very. I will tip. My goal is if I can, I want to tip somebody 100%.
I know. I've done
Always.
that. I do that a lot.
I know you do, and that's what has inspired me to do it.
I'll
If I
have the
can,
waitresses
you know?
come to. I'll have waitresses come up to me and go, "You made a mistake."
Like,
No,
I didn't.
that's no mistake.
That it is.
It's yours.
Yeah. Don't ask.
Really?
Again. Yeah.
Yeah, that's yours.
Yeah.
You work hard.
I'd love to tip 100%,
Yeah.
but if the
When-
service is shitty, it's
Laser, when you become successful to a certain degree,
Mm-hmm.
you have to give back.
Yeah.
And those people work very hard for them.
what goes around comes around.
And then what goes around comes around, because when you do tip like that, you tip your valet, you tip your waitress, you tip your bartender.
Then everything's free all of a
And
sudden.
no, not free, but
Well, it's not free because you still tip.
but your drinks are there right here.
Right.
Your dinner is out the first. Your
Right.
car is always up front.
Mm-hmm.
You don't expect that.
It's
but
a win-win.
You give it because it is a win-win.
Right.
But I watched too long being in restaurants, watching people tip valets.
Right.
They drive up in $100,000 vehicle and
Like
tip the valet a buck.
like $5. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I drive up with a $50,000 car and tip them $10.
Yeah.
You know,
It means a lot.
it does,
It means a lot.
and it doesn't cost
Anything.
me that in my disposable income that much money
Right. Oh.
to help the next generation, to help
Yeah.
people.
Right.
That's a really good way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're helping people get a
You're
Get
helping
a leg
them.
up.
You're helping them, you know? All
one
they
of-
want to do is get a leg up.
I was
And if you
talking
can
to one of my
help them do that-
bartenders one time, and she goes, "Dude, you pay my rent.
Nice.
Pay my rent every month.
Damn.
I'm happy to do it."
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just
And she's happy to.
you have to give back.
Right, yeah.
Always have to give back.
I agree with that. I definitely
Whether it be in
agree.
services or money, you have to give back,
Give back.
especially to the next generation, because they're my future.
Exactly. That it's a fact. They are your future.
They are.
And they won't forget. You know, and you set the standard, you know? So it's like,
You know,
that's how everybody should be, you know?
I've always been about
If I had the money to do, you know, to give everybody 100% all the time,
Noah.
I would. But I would only do it to people that put in 100%.
Yeah, but Noah, you know, tonight,
Uh,
I paid for the concert tickets.
thank you again.
Got the fare tickets.
you.
No,
Yeah.
but it's not about. It's about I can afford it, and
But that's not part of
I'm giving to the next generation.
Right.
And hopefully when you get to the point where you can afford it, you'll get to your kids or somebody else, friends, that you can you do that.
Right. And it goes to show that,
It's
like you
paying
said,
it for-
nobody is better than anybody. Like, if I can do it, you can do it.
It's
you
paying
know?
it. It's paying it forward.
It is paying it forward.
Paying it forward, and you have to
And
do
it's
that.
giving people a glimpse of what they can do, what they want to do.
Yes.
You know, like if it's happening to you, you can be in the shoes, you know, of the other side. You know, you can do that shit. Because that's it. Just takes dedication. Dedication is, discipline is one of the hardest things to work on, and is the one of
And as you become successful, there's a lot of things you can do with your money.
right, which is why discipline is so
I
important.
prefer to give my money to the next generation to bring them along,
Absolutely, yeah.
right? Bring them along
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't have fun
and lift them
you know,
up to see what they can achieve.
and it's because they can achieve. They have a lot. They have a lot to achieve. So it's like, you know,
Yeah, because you guys you're the next generation, and I'm
for sure.
you know, 66 years old. My days are getting shorter.
You
Your-
blessed
your
your
days are
knowledge
longer.
onto a lot of us, and it has been taken in a lot. I feel like I don't know who's gonna do what with it, but I know anything you say never falls on deaf ears. You know, it's always heard.
How did you become self-employed? Like, what was the process? Because Bob, literally, you have your own fucking schedule. Like, that's crazy.
Can I swear?
Of course.
Ah, okay.
Whatever the fuck you
Ah,
want.
okay. I was working for a firm in Newport Beach, and we did 200 car dealers at the time. That's how I got my car dealer experience. And I was running this man's office because he'd put in his years, and he was working Olympics and doing all that stuff with sailing, and
Right, he was getting paid.
So I was running his office for him. And it was tax season. And tax season, we worked 6 days a week. And on Saturdays, we start it at 9 o'clock. His son...
what was your job title at that time?
I was a manager of his office. I was a senior accountant.
Right, and then you seen that stuff coming in, and you're like, "Oh, I can handle this too."
Yeah, I was running the firm.
Okay, so he had no idea you had that potential.
No, he did. Dad did.
Like hired you.
Dad did.
Right.
Dad did because Dad told the other partners in the firm, "Don't let Bob get bored because he will leave." If I got bored, because I got all the hard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I had 6 companies over 7 states that I had to do a tax return for. I got the oil fields in Saudi Arabia. I got
It's everything.
I got all this.
Right.
Yeah, but so we were running the office, and on Saturdays we started at 9. And his son came to work for him. His son came in at 10:30. And I said, "Excuse me, I'm not gonna name the name."
Yeah.
But I said, "We start at 9 o'clock on Saturdays." He said, "Go fuck yourself, Bob." Good, just go fuck yourself. So Monday morning, I went in my boss's office. Says, "I'm done. I'm not working with your son." It was tax season. I said, "I'm not going to leave you in a lurch for tax season because we got to get the taxes out. I care about the clients. May 1st, I'm out of there. I'm out of here. I'm gone."
Mm-hmm.
He didn't believe me, but it happened.
Mm-hmm. Why? What would I mean? Why was "go fuck yourself" such a deal breaker for you? Like, is that just not how you were expecting to be talked to in this certain company? Or
I was the second to the boss. I was the second guy in the office. I was the boss in the office, basically.
And he said that to you?
Yes.
That's kind of weird.
He's the boss's son.
Okay.
He felt entitled.
Because he was the boss's son.
Yeah, because he was the boss's
What did you
son.
say when he said that? Just like, okay.
I didn't say anything when he said that. I said,
Done?
I'm done. I'm done. I just said I'm done.
So you left on May 1st?
So that's what set the tone for you to do your own business.
Yes. And that was worth it, right?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. So yeah, I mean, do you work 12 months out of the year? Or is it just tax season now?
Well, I worked 12 months, but
Like you communicate 12 months.
I work very hard in October, November, December, January, February, March, April, and then May, June, July, August, September. I don't work a whole lot.
That's
It's
cool.
a half and half.
That's so cool, dude.
That's the way you should.
We're at the end of July right now, and I've been working a little bit more this year because we had a whole lot of
All the
changes.
COVID and everything.
But in August, I will work
Fucking nonstop.
5 to 10 hours a week.
In August?
Yes.
Damn. That's not a lot.
I was like, that ain't shit. That's 5 to 10. Yeah.
But in the height of my career in January, February, March, I work 110 hours a week.
That's a lot.
That's all.
That is a lot of.
I could do that for
hours.
about 3 weeks in a row, and then I got to shut down for a while.
Damn,
Just
3 weeks in a
because-
row. Wow.
You can't do it.
Too many clients?
No, that was just
Just too much going on. That's
a lot going on back then, and computer problems, and before computers,
Right.
Computers has helped my business a ton. Because when I started, we were doing tax returns by hand.
You got to get all the
No
papers,
computers.
all the numbers.
You had to write them out by hand, add them all up, and make sure that this form went to that form, went to that form, went to that form.
That's crazy. Now it's all documented. So you just get to pull up
Can I
files.
tell you a story?
Yeah, of course.
Hi.
Hell yeah, Bob.
I was, after my second marriage, I had a house in Mission Viejo. 3-bedroom, 2-bath house.
Okay.
When
You should rent property.
when my buddies, my friends, when they were getting divorced, I ran what was called the Elliot House for Wayward Husbands.
For wayward husbands.
Wayward
So
husbands.
the whorehouse.
No,
I'm just
when
playing.
their wives kicked them out of their house, they would come and live with me.
That's fucking funny. I'd be in my
Um,
house all the time.
And well, and I had 4 of them over the years. 2 went back to their wives, 2 didn't. One of them was still a very good friend of mine, and he'd come home, and I'd have a 32-ounce gin and tonic sitting on my table, and I'm doing tax returns by hand, and he'd go, "I hope you're not doing mine,
Or you hope I
because I
am.
got a 32-ounce gin and tonic."
I'm,
No computer. You're all writing the numbers by hand, handing up by hand,
Sketch.
and I would work. Until
mistakes are prevalent.
I would work until 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Be up at 6 to
Right.
start again.
You're an animal.
On
You're
2
home of
hours
the
of
beast.
sleep.
Yes, 2 to 3
I
hours of
wouldn't
sleep
care what the fuck you
for
were
about
doing.
2. I could do that for about 2.5, 3 weeks in a row, and then I'd have to sleep.
Just because you're that smart, you have that brain.
I never require sleep.
He has that processing power.
I do.
Yeah.
Literally like
Yeah.
the CPU processing power.
Exactly.
Bro. That's crazy, Bob.
We were at a retreat one time, and I was given a seminar to do, and they started asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys, my biggest client, that guy I told you about earlier, he goes, "Just watch him. Just watch his mind." Somebody asked me a question,
Mm-hmm.
and I would go, "I'm like this. I'm reading tax law in my mind."
Photographic memory.
Yes,
Damn.
I'm reading tax law in my mind, and I go, I didn't answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
And I answered the question. And that was
Can you just memorize words on like a page?
I used to do that.
Okay. For how long can you remember it? As long as you want? Or-
when I was in college.
Yeah. So you just look at a page, scan everything, and then that shit's in your memory.
I think I told you this. When I was in college, I couldn't take notes when I was in class.
Why?
Because I don't write fast enough.
Yeah.
Could not write fast enough. So I would just watch the instructor.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking accounting classes, tax law classes, and all this shit. And then the morning of the test, I'd go through the textbook and I would just flip pages and walk, read, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. So when I was taking the test, I would scan my memory for the classes. And if it wasn't there, I would scan my memory for the book pages and I'd see the page in my mind and answer the question.
And you could just pull what you scanned on that page.
Yes.
And how do you even remember what the fuck it said?
I was pictures in my mind.
You saw the page.
I saw the page.
And you can go like almost back in time and kind of go, okay, it said this, this, and this,
Yes,
and this because
exactly.
you said the page. That's crazy.
That's crazy. People
That's
got
honestly
crazy
crazy.
minds like that.
That was alcohol has diluted that a little bit, but
Yeah.
and age. But
Yeah.
Same with weed. Good thing you
But
don't
still-
smoke weed.
but still, I can still remember a lot.
Yeah.
And you know what's amazing? Bradley has the best memory ever.
No, not even close to mine.
Which is exactly what I'm saying, you know? And it's like,
Not even close. I mean,
Brad will tell me about things he did while he was blacked out. And I was like, bro, I wasn't there. Weren't you blacked out? He's like, yeah, but I know I did this, this, this. And somebody will question him and he'll be right.
I can still remember with very strong clarity
Yeah.
things when I was 7 or 8 years old.
That's crazy.
It's just
It's a blessing. I really wish I had a better memory.
But
One thing I get bummed about.
turning it off is something else too.
Yeah.
You don't need to though.
No, sometimes you do, because if I'm tax season is you had never experienced tax season for an accountant is
Time to go.
very stressful.
Right. It's like get it done. Never think about it.
Your
again.
mind is going like this.
Right.
24. It's just going like this. I would go to sleep,
So never.
and I was doing tax problems in my sleep.
Right.
So you don't sleep. Hence alcohol. It slowed down my mind.
Right.
So I could actually sleep. But you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, I got it.
Really?
I got it. I got that answer. And we're talking,
Put that shit in the notes.
we're not talking, can I deduct $30 here, $34? We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of
Right.
dollars.
Right.
We're solving problems.
The slippery
Oh.
slopes on how to slide down them. Yeah.
We're doing a
$500,000 fucking.
USVI tax return, U.S. Virgin Islands tax return in the United States.
And the Virgin Islands don't require any. What's the law there? They don't require any like tax statements.
Some
Or,
do, yeah. No, some do. So.
And then the Virgin Islands, right? I mean, I have a VPN.
I did a deal
My
one time
VPN's
where
in the
we
Virgin
bought
Islands,
it.
That's why.
My client bought a piece of land in San Bernardino.
Mhm.
We put it into a corporation in Florida that was based in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The U.S. Virgin Islands had a mirror tax program that we had, tax law that we had.
Agreed to it. Yeah.
So since the corporation was based in the
Based.
Virgin Islands, when we sold the land in San Bernardino,
Still.
there was no tax in the U.S. because it was a Virgin Island corporation.
Oh.
A corporation based in the Virgin Islands.
Right.
Virgin Islands, there was no tax in the Virgin Islands because it was a U.S. corporation. So
Right.
he walked away with $500,000, no tax.
Profit. Yeah. And that's just profit that didn't even need to be profit.
But it was a tax. It was one of those tax loopholes.
But it's also money that you
that was
earned and you
saved.
deserved.
That was changed in the heartbeat.
What was changing the heartbeat? I'm sorry.
What?
What was changing the heartbeat?
The tax law.
Oh, the tax law
Another one.
against the
Another
Virgin
one.
Islands?
Another one in California.
I know. I heard California's the worst.
I
don't know much.
They had this deal in California, and it said if you're a small corporation. And a small corporation was a corporation when they were started had less than 100 employees.
Okay. A lot.
And I said, when you sold stock in that corporation, there's supposed to be no tax preference tax, which was a different tax. They left the preference type out of the law. They did not put that in the law. So there's no tax on the sale of your stock.
Good.
It was a mistake.
I mean, yeah, that's an L for whoever owns the stock, but it's a win
so
for anybody who buys into it.
I had a client, Betty Cook. She was a 3-time champion world offshore powerboat racer. 3 times.
Damn.
3 times. She and her husband started a company in 1955 called Raychem, which is a Fortune 500 company.
What's that mean?
Fortune 500?
Mm-hmm.
There are the 500 biggest corporations in America.
Oh, snap.
Well,
Okay, so they started in 1955. This is 1985.
Okay.
And so she sold stock in this company.
Mm-hmm.
Her basis was a penny. The stock price was like 1,000. And I said, no tax.
Mm-hmm.
She told her husband, who was still the chairman of the board
there's no tax
of this company, and he goes, no. I go, yeah.
Why no tax?
Because the law said that when they put it, there's no tax preference. They left the word preference out.
Oh, so
Says
there's
no
no
tax.
tax. Period. Yeah.
And it's when the company started, not when they sold it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it doesn't matter because
It does, because when you start the small company with less than 100 employees, you sell it down to Fortune 500 with
so now it
thousands of
fits
people.
in that category.
It's no longer a small company, but it qualified because it was
but
a
it's
small
making
company.
but it's making big company money. Right. Yeah.
So I had
That's
the
great.
national
That's
partner I had the tax partner of a national CPA firm call me.
And that's how it should be.
And I
you know?
said, dude, look at the law. They left off the word preference.
Boom.
Are they
That's
good to
all
go?
it takes.
And he goes, you're right.
Yep.
This is a national, big guys, the big firms.
Right.
International firms.
They're
And I
talking
go-
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
and I'm going, and he goes, you're right. And I know I'm right.
Mm-hmm. That's all it takes. That's some bullshit right there.
Wait, did they have to pay money?
No, he saved them
okay,
money.
I got
Oh, you saved the money.
millions.
Millions.
Because of one word.
One word.
Exactly.
Got
One
it.
word that wasn't there.
That's all it takes.
Okay. Wait, and how does that even, who was the judge of that? Why didn't the judge just go, you know what, that was written too long ago?
It doesn't work like
Put it
that.
in
What's
order.
written is written.
Because what's written was written until
Yeah.
I changed it.
Did they change it after you?
I'm
Yeah.
sure they changed
Okay.
it, yeah.
Change it back. It was an
But
anomaly
take
that
out,
they
yeah.
did not know. Part of looking at tax law,
looking at what the words are.
what the words
The
are,
law
what's there and what's not there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what was not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's it, yeah.
So who wrote that? Them?
Them.
California.
Yeah.
State of
California did it.
State of California wrote it.
And
Trying to get a win and they messed up with one word and
I
they
found
fixed
it with one word.
were you defending them or attacking them?
I was attacking.
You were attacking them?
Yes. We're saying
True.
that word's
Yeah.
not there. We you don't have to tax on this shit.
It's a fact, yeah.
And they go, said to California goes, we're gonna change it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they made them
now.
rewrite their document for their business?
Mhm.
Okay. Damn. It's kind of taxes have always kind of been one of those things that
Yeah.
you can get out of. It sounds, if you know the right people, you can get out of it, and if you use the right words.
Well, you don't get
You
out
can't
of
just
it.
get out of taxes. It depends what you're doing.
You don't get out of it.
Okay.
You can never really
government
get
will
out of
always
paying
want
taxes.
to be in your business.
You
know?
can delay them as long as you can.
Or you can
In
finesse
cases
them.
like that, you can get out of the California
You can
tax.
finesse them. You
When,
can, they can make them think you're making
when-
less than
when
you
the
are.
When the tax, a couple years ago, when tax went for corporate tax went from 28, from 34 to 21, you could actually make money by taking all of your expenses and tossing them in against the 34 and taking all your income in the 21. So you made
Wait, what?
13%. Okay.
So you like liquidate all your.
No, yeah. If you sell,
You're pretending to be broke.
typical tax law is you defer expenses as long as you can and take income.
As much as you can.
Now you defer income as long as you can take out expenses as soon as you can, right?
Okay.
Well, when the tax rate in 17, 18, anyway, tax rate was 34% for corporations. Okay. The next year it was 21. So you're going to take all the expenses, take them against the 34,
Right.
all the income, we're going to switch to the 21.
So
You're making
you
money.
tax less. Yeah.
Yeah, you're making money.
Exactly. You're saving your ass for sure.
So people must like what you're doing for them because they keep you around. They haven't switched accountants. You have a lot of. How many clients do you have?
I have no idea right now.
Okay. Dozens, hundreds, 50,
Hundreds.
hundreds.
I do, most of my clients are millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So those are the ones I like to do
Yeah.
because they're more fun.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a client one time, he called me, Bob, I bought a castle in Scotland. What are my tax advantages?
What'd you
I
buy
look it up and go,
What'd you buy it with?
dude, English real estate law is like 75%. You don't want
That's a lot. Holy
What's that mean?
shit.
75%.
75%
on
tax
it.
rate on real estate in England. And Scotland's under English tax law.
You
You owe them for owning your property.
Yeah.
You owe them 75% of what your property is worth.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much doubling. You buy a house and then you buy another one in
And
taxes.
then so we turned it into
It's not gonna
timeshare.
let you just.
He turned it into timeshare and sold it off
75. You have to pay 70.
at the time. I don't know what it is now, but
Well, I mean,
at
if you're
the time
buying a
it was.
castle, that's probably why. It's a special estate, you know. So
That's
there's probably a lot of other
crazy.
factors that go into it, but it's just bullshit, bro.
So
The
what-
government
when-
doesn't want you to.
Want
win,
to go
bro.
somewhere other than taxes?
Yeah.
Let's
Take
go
a
somewhere other
Yeah.
than taxes.
Yeah. Do you have any hot topics that come into mind?
No?
No.
Tell me. What do you want to know?
I feel like you've had your fair share of like strippers, hookers.
I've only had one hooker in my entire life.
Okay. What was that like?
Disappointing.
Really? Just because it's like, oh fuck, like this
Yeah,
person.
I didn't.
I respect the hustle.
Zero
Though.
chemistry.
I respect the hustle.
I do,
I respect
but
the hustle.
No, 100%.
A friend of mine bought her for me, and I'm going, just it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, the chemistry wasn't there. It wasn't real. I feel that.
You kind of felt like another statistic.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it just wasn't real.
Right.
What's the craziest story you have?
Craziest story.
Life, death.
Okay, life, death. All right. Life, death. All right. Diving off the Turks and Caicos. Turks and Caicos Islands in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Turks and quesos.
Turks and Caicos.
Okay, I said quesos.
Not
Caicos.
cheese.
I'm just trying, because I've been trying to get really good with geometry lately.
All right.
So I'm
Let's
trying
pause for a sec.
Just trying to think of where it is.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right, Turks and Caicos. A couple buddies of mine, we would go to a Club Med every 6 months. Club Med was the first all-inclusive resorts in the Caribbean. Singles resorts.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
And
Singles resorts or like couples resorts?
singles.
Singles.
It was singles.
Singles.
And
It's a
it
great
played
time.
right up our alley because they had water skiing, tennis,
Nudity, no kids.
limited nudity.
I mean,
It wasn't
wasn't a
club
freak show. Like,
hedonism like was in Jamaica, but it was a singles resort.
Right.
But you also have golf, tennis,
So there's no kids.
water
there.
skiing, scuba diving, and all this is all up our alley.
Right. Absolutely.
And so we were at one resort in Turks and Caicos in the Caribbean, and it was a dedicated dive resort. So we were there, and there was a storm somewhere in the Caribbean, so they couldn't do the diving.
RIP
So we
to
played
them.
tennis. We played tennis. We swam. We did the other stuff, water skied. But a lot of the people there were getting pissed off because they couldn't go diving.
Right.
So one morning they opened up the diving.
You had to keep it low key.
So we went diving. We were on this boat, and every dive team, there was four people and one dive master,
Right.
and he was like our guide. His fins were like this big, our fins were like this big, and he's pedaling on. And so we're down there, and one of the guys in our group was running out of air.
What?
So the dive master says to me, you, my buddy, me, and this girl, go, you three,
Pop up.
stay here.
Okay.
Him and I are going back. So we think the guy's coming back, the dive instructor. You stay here, we're going back.
Yeah, that's a safe assumption. For
And
sure.
so my buddy and I are sitting on the bottom. We're playing tic-tac-toe on the bottom.
That's dope.
And the girl comes over and she goes, like this, I got 500 pounds of air left.
Running out.
So, okay, well, let's go up.
Right.
So, we go up. Boat's gone. Boat is gone.
This guy had an emergency. The one him was died then, or what?
Hell no.
Why is the boat gone? Why is the boat gone?
Yeah,
Why is the boat gone?
What the
This
fuck?
gets a hell of a lot better than that.
Why is
You're
the boat
more
gone?
important.
And we always, my buddy and I, we always prided ourselves. We don't trust anybody else.
Don't
We're
trust
down
nobody.
where
It's a
we're at.
fact.
So we come up. We know where the boat's supposed to be. It's frickin' gone.
Fuck.
Was your instinct just like, all right, well, I'm
And
not
we're in
gonna
the
slow down
frickin' of the middle ocean, middle of the
Right.
ocean. You can't even see anything.
Right.
There's no land anywhere. And we're in the Caribbean somewhere off Turks and Caicos. So you see another boat off about a mile off.
Start paddling.
We start paddling.
I'm like, get on my shoulders, bro. I'm gonna freak out.
And I don't know if you know about diving, but diving underneath the water is a whole lot easier than going across the top.
Okay.
Right.
Okay? Because you got waves on the top.
Right, you
And
have
waves
drag
on-
and all that.
We get about halfway there, and the girl goes, I can't do it. I'm done. I can't. So I hook.
That's fine.
My-
Stay here. I'll be back. Yeah.
No, I put one arm. I put her arm here. My
You fucking
buddy put
drag
her
her.
arm there, and we're going backwards.
Nice.
Backwards.
Nice.
We get about 100 yards off this other boat, and we're doing this, which means danger, danger.
Oh, yeah, help.
When you come up after you're diving, if you go like this, you're okay.
Good. Yeah.
You go like this, danger, danger.
Right.
So we get on this other boat.
They pick you up?
No, well, they came out. They sent divers out to help us with her because she couldn't make it. So we swam over, and we got on the other boat, and the guy goes, "Name." We gave him our names. He goes, well, you're not on this boat. No, we were on the boat, and we told him we were on the other boat, and they go, "What? It's not here." So we came over here, and they got on the radio to the resort we were staying at.
Right.
The dive master was on the plane before we got back. It was fired and on the plane off of that island before we got back.
Oh, so he quit before
No, he got
started.
fired. He got fired.
He saw that coming.
He left.
He left.
No, he got fired. He said the resort manager said, "You're fucking out of here."
Yeah. You just left the rest of the crew.
So my buddy and I, when we got back to our resort,
The girl who can't
They-
swim in strong tides.
they took us back to their resort, and then our resort had a bus there waiting for us. Took us back to our resort. So we went to the manager's office, and we just said, "Dude."
What the fuck?
He left.
Yeah,
He left.
what the fuck?
He left us.
Zero
left us for
excuses.
dead.
Yeah, there's zero excuses.
We should be dead right now.
Literally.
If we had if that other
Great
boat wasn't here,
possibility.
we would be dead.
Yeah.
And
Or be eating the week going.
and we're going. We're going.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
You know, and I wasn't there to profit off of it. No,
Yeah.
we were there to say, hey, look, that guy should have never been there. You should have checked. You guys our lives are in your hands. We would have been dead.
Yeah.
And we did get a free vacation out of it, but that was all of it. And so we don't want any money.
Yeah.
Although we could probably have sued them for millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the point. The point was you have lives in your hand. you got to respect those, you know.
Why do you think he left you guys?
Actually, he was hungover.
So he just left?
He went back on the boat and said, "Yeah, well, my guys are all here."
No.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was, yeah.
Why didn't... So he literally was leaving you guys just to like, whatever happened, happens. So he... Oh my
He was
God.
probably still drunk when you did it.
Did he seem fishy?
Yeah.
Fucker.
Yeah, it was...
That's sus. That's stupid.
It was probably the scariest thing I've ever done.
Yeah. That doesn't sound too fun. I'm sorry you experienced that. And especially on a vacation like scuba diving. Like who would have thought the instructor would have left you guys for fucking dead? You know? Like that, no, that's... You're paying a lot of money to
Yeah.
go do that.
Yeah.
Dang, okay. You want to explain what a bob shot is?
Bob shot. I don't know who your audience is, but probably a lot of them have had a bob shot.
True. Shout out to everybody that's watching this. That
Bob
had a bob
shots.
shot. Shout the fuck out, people.
Bob shot started when my son Brad was early 20s, 20, 21. He had these friends up here that most of them Cal Poly guys or Rio Grande High School guys that would say, "Oh, I can fucking drink more than anybody else on the planet. I can do all this. I can drink. So I said, "Nah, guys, I'm gonna do a bob shot." And most people, when you shoot tequila, you do this and you do this, you go, and you're done.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, bob shot, you and you keep it in your mouth for as long as you can.
As long as you think you can be Bob.
As long as you think you can be Bob.
And there's like a minimum of like at least 5 minutes, right?
No, there's
Well,
no minimum.
No minimum?
There's no minimum. You just got to do it as long as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most guys last less than a minute. Most guys last less than a minute.
Yeah.
3 or 4 is about the average. It burns. It burns and burns until 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
After 7 minutes, you can go 7 hours.
Yeah.
But the bob shot is on, I don't know how many campuses now in the United States.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
The
Fuck
guys
yeah.
have got off to college in other parts of the country. And it's in Las Vegas.
Bob shot?
Yes.
From you.
Yes.
We're at in Vegas.
We went to the Aria for Brad's birthday 2 years ago. And Brad goes, "We're going to go to the club." This is like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. And he goes, "We're going to go to the club." So we got a table in the club. And I was doing the bob shot in the club. And the manager of the club goes, "Can I put that on a jumbo screen?" And the girls were going, "He still got it. He still got it." And it's Army Rangers. Yeah.
So
One guy he was gonna. One of my friends, her son was going into the Army Rangers, and I taught him how to do a bob shot. I said, "You'll kill those other guys."
Mm-hmm.
It's intense.
Dang. Okay.
That's fun.
Yeah. No, it's...
You gotta be dancing when you do it.
Yeah.
It's a fact. It's initiation. It's crazy.
Alright, well, we've been going for an hour and 40. Anything else you want to say, Bob?
Nope. I'm good.
Said nope.
Alright, let's call it a wrap. Thank you
Live
for
life.
coming on.
Live life.
Thank you. Live life, guys. You guys heard it from Bob himself. Peace.
It's a fact. Yup.
Good shit. That was super good.